Ross.
Hey, how you doing, Gary?
Good. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah, okay.
And we're off. Yeah.
And we're off, yes.
Yeah. Hey, I got a list of stuff that I wanted to go over with you, and of course, I don't know, in Don Strabbing's assessment, he'd say, well, you were stupid enough to stop by. So we're going to talk about these things.
Don Strabling was stupid enough to come out and help us with a bear, so we're even. Okay, let's get that cleared up right now. And thanks to Don Strabling, first of all. He was a heck of a guy for us.
Oh, yeah, it worked out good. Yeah, well, I will maybe touch on that, because that was a night to...
okay.
Hey, we'll wait a little bit later on. But, hey, I wanted to get you in front of the darn camera, because there's a lot of people that want to hear what you have to say. Do you believe that?
No, I don't. And I just wonder what situation they wanted to hear it from.
Yeah. From the first day you arrived at that day you decided to help me, and you look at that and say, why? That you arrived in camp with the red Ford pickup truck and drove down by the lake.
Well, there's two versions of that story.
Yeah.
I think the one that you enjoy and the one that really happened. But I will admit, too, that it was close to going in the lake.
Yeah. Well, hey, if we look back on this, and it's kind of a reflection on since what? What do you remember?
2014. The reason I remember is I was still working at the time, and the incident with the lake happened after I finished work and drove up.
Oh, okay.
And to clear everything up, that evening alcohol was not a factor.
What are you saying, that sometimes it is, huh? Or it could be.
There's certain situations, I'm not going to lie, and there's too many witnesses for me to deny it.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm looking at, if you're looking at back to 2014, and I don't doubt it, there are some days it seem like we started this thing 20 years ago, and there's some days it seems, most of the time, it seems like we just started this big fun, as we always call it.
Well, I think it's just been an evolving. There's been good times, there's been bad times, there's been times, as you know, I mean, frustrating times.
Yeah.
Times that you're happy with it, but times you're not so pleased.
Yeah. You've helped me with a few different types of hunts, too. It isn't just one time, I mean.
Well, I've tried, I guess I enjoy the outdoors. And
yeah.
It takes up some of my time, even though I do get in trouble a lot, but it's been interesting.
Yeah.
It's been an enjoyable trip 50% of the time.
51.
Okay, we'll go 51.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Well, like you said, you like to hunt. What do you like to hunt then?
I like to hunt anything that will get me out in the woods. Turkeys, deer, bears, since I met you. Small game, not so much anymore. I don't think that there's that many small game anymore.
What's your favorite? I
enjoy deer and bear hunting about the same. I didn't realize that. Like I say, you browbeat me into this in 2014. Had a lot of fun along the way.
Yeah, well, we have had a lot of fun. So, why do you like the bear and the deer hunting probably more so than maybe other types?
I'm not going to diminish my turkey hunting. I enjoy turkey hunting. I enjoy deer hunting. I enjoy bear hunting. I guess it's just getting out in the woods. Getting away. Success hasn't come my way all the time, but there's a lot to the hunt other than success.
Right, absolutely. So if everybody expected to tag out every time they went out hunting, I guess that gets to almost be considered as shooting and not hunting.
Yes, I believe that to be true.
Yeah. Let's take you back to 2014 when you first came up to camp. For whatever reason it was. I mean, I remember, but I'm going to ask you to share your thoughts on that. What brought you up to camp and why?
I've asked myself that question quite a few times. I think I came up there just to be up there and give you a hand. I remember that first trip up there was quite an adventure, from the time we started baiting till the time we went and got a freezer till the time we put a light bulb in the porch. It was a long day.
Yeah. Well, I remember talking to you about bear hunting, and you and I chatted about what it takes to consider to bear hunt in Michigan. So we chatted that out, and then, do you remember that?
I do remember that, and I waited till the last day to put in for a bear permit because you browbeat me into it, Gary.
Yes.
To be real honest with you, but we started out.
That was 2014?
It was.
Yeah.
It was 2014.
Had you ever put in for a bear permit before?
No, I
Okay.
had not, and really didn't interest me.
Yeah,
And I think as a lot of it was because I had never became involved in bear hunting.
yeah. And so you got picked.
I did, after you promised me it'd be 3 years before I got a permit.
And it was 3 years?
No, I got it the first year. You said it'd take me 3 years to get it. We were both surprised.
Dog years.
Yeah, there you go, something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but since then, it's been enjoyable. I enjoy the hunting. I enjoy helping. And it's been good. I guess I enjoy the Upper Peninsula. It's my first exposure to the Upper Peninsula, and once you get up there, I believe it makes it, you have an addiction to going up there.
Well, I've heard that before. I agree with that myself. Yeah.
The thing is, I guess, the scouting and everything before, trying to find locations where good bear baits are, there's a lot of work that you put in. And,
No, we did it together.
well, some, but I know that you've done a lot more as far as the scouting through the maps and that sort of thing. And sometimes it's disappointing. Sometimes you think, wow, this is going to be good, and it isn't so good. That's the thing over these last, 5 years, I've realized that just because this looks good, just because it looks like it's going to work out, success comes only when there is success. And
The outdoors has a way of humbling.
well,
Our
especially last
expectations.
year, and again, we've talked about it. I don't know really what happened, whether it was natural, whether it was influenced by people messing with the baits, or whether it was the wolves. I mean,
Yeah.
you and I have talked about this, and I don't know.
Yeah. Probably a combination.
I believe that I'm still confused. I am still very confused
Yeah.
about the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's dive into a couple of things, and I had a couple of questions. Said, how'd you get involved with Wild Game Dynasty? You kind of explained it, but we're kind of like I want to think we're like the mafia. We beat you in, you just don't realize it. And then
I think that's really a good way to put it. And you beat you in when in out, blood out. We've had blood,
Yeah.
blood in, blood out. But
Yeah.
again, there's days that I think, what the heck did I ever get myself involved in? And there's days that I can't wait for it to happen again.
Yeah,
It's
and-
real simple.
touch on that. What is some more of the rewarding memories or
I
experiences?
think I enjoy success anytime that one of your hunters
Yeah.
has success. That's the biggest part for me. I know somewhat of what you put into this. Going back there, baiting, walking 12 to 15 miles every day, baiting the spots. First of all, finding the spots, baiting them, and I enjoy success with the hunters.
Yeah.
I really do. I know what you and I put into getting a good bait, and I enjoyed their success.
Yeah. What was the activity? Seemed to be some small bears.
But,
So it didn't
I
produce
think you've
any
looked
tag.
into it, and I think the whole eastern part of the Upper Peninsula, everything was confused.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a sad part.
Yeah, I just saw a statistic from I think it was from the DNR.
I think I read that same article, and I agree with it. But
Yeah.
you and I and the hunters and the other guides up there experience the same thing. I mean, it's time to figure out why.
Yeah.
The thing that bothers me, they never gave you the number of bears harvested. They said it was lower.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it was throughout the whole Upper Peninsula and the eastern side.
Yes, absolutely.
And now we have to figure out what to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we've spoken, you got the influence of people contaminating bait sites. I know that we've had issues with wolves up there. Now, those two factors, and as far as the natural food, I'm not sure that was an issue with it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to know, isn't it? Yeah. Well, hey, looking back though on some of the rewarding times, or maybe some that were just goofier than heck, or one that tickled your funny bone. What was one of your more funniest situations, whether it be at bear camp, deer camp, baiting, or whether we had clients in camp or no clients in camp?
I think it was 2 years ago, wasn't it? No, 3 years ago, possibly. The fact when I came down with a upper respiratory issue. That was a year. I mean,
Yeah.
again.
Well, tell us about that.
Well, it started out where my friend John Buchek was up there hunting with us, and
Yeah.
he's also the cook. So if there's any complaints, take care of it with him.
Yeah.
He was hunting a different area, and I ended up with the upper respiratory, and I think both of us tried to talk him into hunting at one particular bait, and he went up a little further, so we set a game camera out. And when he came back, we showed him what would have came into the bait site that we tried to get him to hunt that night. And there was a bear in there early.
Yeah.
So, good part of the story was where I was going to sit and couldn't. John did say
Why couldn't you hunt that? No.
I had an upper respiratory, probably from dragging through the muck and everything else.
Probably so. Probably from
Probably.
walking 12 miles a day for the
Yeah,
10
and
days
I think
prior.
there was a real good success ratio, but sometimes those bears are a little ways back, and it's usually at night, and it's you overexert yourself
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to bring
Yeah.
a bear in. But
Yeah.
back to the story. John went out there, shot one on his birthday. Came up with again me hunting one of your bait sites for deer, and I hunted it a day and a half, and
Why just a day and a half?
well, I had a trip I had to make,
Oh,
so
okay.
and cut on that, and I sat there till about noon. I sat there the first day all day long. I seen 2 spikes in the doe, and the next day I hunted until about 11 o'clock and had to leave. And then, as I'm driving back south, I get a text that a young man had sat in that same spot and shot a giant 9-point. I mean, and you were good enough to
Send you that.
send
yeah.
you the picture of the deer.
Yeah.
So,
Why
with
not?
that year, didn't have an opportunity to shoot a bear because of upper respiratory.
In other words, you were coughing and hacking enough where the
I
bear
was.
never came
Well,
in.
I tried it, and as soon as it started to get cool off, I started coughing and hacking, and I didn't want to mess up a bait site, and
Yeah.
so I quit. That turned out well for John, and it turned out well for the other hunter. Adrian, yeah, it turned out well for him. Not so much for me, but the other thing that keeps me from crying was I saved a ton of taxidermy, Bear rug, full head mount, that's